investigation. It's all to do with numbers that are next door to each other. So numbers which have exactly a jump of 1 each time are called consecutive numbers. For example, these are consecutive and these are consecutive even numbers. In terms of their jumps, we're going to call them gaps in this investigation. Section A is really straightforward. This doesn't require much writing. You can leave the questions in, put the answers underneath. Section B requires a little bit more working out. So for this first part here, you have to do what it's instructing you to do, and then you have to describe it. When you're describing it, you really need to think about writing this in a few sentences and maybe talking about why you think this is the case. So there are other parts of this and you really have to use your words to describe. I'm not going to go over any of these questions in depth because they are all really quite straightforward. When it says use a table, you can insert a table in Google Docs or whatever document you're using. The hardest thing is section E. And this again is really not that challenging. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say we're going to go with different consecutive numbers. So I'm not going to use these numbers, I'm going to use something similar. If we have R is a random number, R minus 2, R minus 1 and R therefore are going to be consecutive because to get from R minus 2 to R minus 1 we're plussing 1. To get from R minus 1 to R we are plussing 1. Therefore we can show this is a gap of 1. And what you need to do is you need to show that this is indeed a gap of 1. So can you find a way of explaining your results algebraically? For example, if your first value was x, then the next value would be x plus 1 and the next would be x plus 2. Can you extend this proof for any starting figure of this gap? So we have to be able to apply different things that we have learnt, and what you'll end up doing is squaring these results to show relationships. So you're going to end up squaring r minus 2 and then you would expand this. This is going to be r minus 2 times r minus 2. You'd get an algebraic expression. You would then do the same but for r minus 1, so you're going to find r minus 1 squared, and then you'd get an algebraic expression, and then last but not least you're going to have the r, you're going to square that and you're going to get an algebraic expression. This part here is about comparing these three algebraic expressions, but rather than using these algebraic terms you're going to be using x, x plus 1 and x plus 2. I hope that helps. I'm not going to give you a lot of help in this investigation because it's relatively straightforward. Good luck.